What does mastery mean to you? For me, it is the balancing of mind, body, and spirit, and thus creating an enlightened state, an enlightened reality. Welcome, everyone, to Collective Consciousness. I'm Ray, and I am your guide as we focus on expanding your consciousness. My whole purpose here is to awaken old souls and guide the way towards humanity's ascension. So if you are on your self-mastery journey, you are in the right place. Today, we're talking about the fundamentals of mastery. So before we begin, take one moment right now. And if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And also give this channel a thumbs up. And be sure to share this with whoever you feel like is in alignment with this message. Let's get started. First thing about stepping into a level of mastery is you really have to ask yourself, who are you listening to? Who do you listen to? Do you listen to people who have what you want or people who don't have what you want? For example, you ever have a friend or a family member who isn't necessarily great at relationships, but they try to give you relationship advice? Are you listening to them? Are you listening to that one best friend who's never in a relationship and who always is like ruining relationships with her own fears and insecurities or his own fears and insecurities? And then they project that out on you and your relationship or a job or an opportunity, or you decide to up and move cross country. What people often do is they project their own fears and insecurities onto whatever it is that you're doing. So then you listen to them, and now that becomes embedded in your subconscious, and that begins to play and replay and replay. And because that person has credibility in your life, you now bought their insecurities and their fears. But ask yourself, who do you listen to? When you ask someone for advice or when you complain about your problems to somebody, complain up. Complain to someone who's in a higher position than you, someone who can actually help you move forward and get out of that situation. But if you're complaining to someone who's at the same level or someone who's even below you, all they're going to do is continue to pull you down and not push you to break past your challenges and your limitations. Okay, so who do you listen to? And the answer is listen to people who have what you want. So anyone that you take advice from or you listen to, are they in alignment with what you want? Do they have the financial success that you want to be taking financial advice from? Do they have the business success to be taking business advice from? Do they have the relationship success to be taking relationship advice from? Right? Are they spiritually aligned to take spiritual advice from them? Ask yourself these questions. And when you get the answer, then you can decide, okay, that person is credible enough for me to listen to or not. The second thing that you really must master, and the thing about mastery, the fundamentals to mastery, right, is you must master the basics. And what that means is these simple concepts that I'm going to be going through in this video, you must master these first. If you're like, oh, I already got it, then that shows that you don't have it, right? Masters continuously work on the fundamentals. They work on the basics, right? And they shift and they change and adjust when it's not working anymore or when, they don't get the same result that they desired. So the second part is your teachability index. Some of these concepts you might already know. Some of the things that I talk about on a weekly basis, you might already know about. But to know and not to do is not to know. See, just because you're consciously competent about something, meaning you know and you have to think about and do it, doesn't mean that you know it. When you know it, that's when you become unconsciously competent. And we'll go into that in just a moment. But let's talk about the teachability index. On a scale from 1 to 10, how teachable are you? And in order to ask that question, you've got to ask yourself these two questions. Question number 1, what is my willingness to learn? And what that means is, what are you willing to look at differently? What are you willing to accept that might not be in alignment with what you already know? What is your willingness to learn something new? If you're closed off mentally, you can't let new things in, right? So you have to know, what is my willingness to learn? And the second question is, what is my willingness to accept change? A lot of people really want to learn and grow and change and evolve, but they're not willing to accept change. When change or adversity presents itself in your life, what is your reaction? When someone tells you the opposite of what you want to hear, what is your reaction? What is your willingness to accept change? And if you're not willing to accept change, your teachability index is 0, right? So how you calculate your teachability index is on a scale from 1 to 10. What is my willingness to learn? If I'm at a 10, and then what is my willingness to accept change? I'm at a 10, then I'm at 100% teachability index. 10 times 10 is 100%. But let's say, for example, I'm at a 10 willingness to learn, but I am at a 0 willingness to accept change, then honey, your teachability index is 0. 10 times 0 is 0. You have to have both factors in order to really be teachable. And the master always knows that they're a student. The master is always a student, because we're always learning, we're always growing, we're always evolving. Okay, so the first concept, who do you listen to? Listen to people who have what you want. The second concept, what is your teachability index? What is your willingness to learn? And what is your willingness to accept change? So a lot of these things that we talk about regarding mindset, regarding the thoughts that go on in your mind, regarding your physiology, regarding your state, right? When we go through these things, when I teach you these things, you then become consciously incompetent. You know that you don't know. And then once I teach you, then you become consciously competent. That means you know, and you have to consciously apply it. Which leads me to the third fundamental of mastery, is maintaining your state. Maintain your physiology and maintain your state. What happens is our brain and our neurotransmitters, which are the receptor cells that allow us to feel sensations, feel, hear, see, taste, touch, smell, right? These are our sensors that are within our bodies. And every second, there's at least 2 million bits of information being picked up by your sensors. But our brain has to filter out all of this information. That's too much for anyone to comprehend. Imagine if you're at a restaurant and you hear the people talking, you hear every single person's conversation in the restaurant, you hear every clatter and clang of the forks and the plates and the glasses, and you hear the people in the back, and you hear the cooking, and if you hear every single thing, you hear the cars driving by outside. And if you imagine, if you heard all of those things all of the time, which you have every capacity to do, it would drive you literally insane. You wouldn't be able to focus on the menu because there's so much going on. So what our brain does is it filters out, it deletes or distorts or generalizes any of these informations coming in. So what's happening, that is what creates your internal representation. Your internal representation are the thoughts and the perceptions of the world that you receive, the meaning that you attach to it. That's that little voice in your head. So in order to really become a master, you must be able to master the inside. You must be able to master what's going on here. That subconscious, that is what creates your reality. So when I say get to unconscious competency level, and I'll go through really quick what those mean. What I mean is you must be unconscious. You must not, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about it. It just comes naturally to you, and that you are applying these principles, habits, and rituals in your daily life. I'm going to just really quick go through the levels of competency before I wrap this up. There's 4 levels. There's Unconscious incompetence, meaning you don't even know what you don't know. Let's say, for example, I'm teaching you how to tie your shoe. If you don't even know that shoes are tied, you don't even know that you don't know how to tie your shoe, right? That is unconscious incompetence. You're not aware that you don't know how, right? And then there's conscious incompetence. Now you know that shoes get tied. I just don't know how to do it, right? You know, but you don't know how to, right? So that is conscious incompetence. And then there is conscious competence. And that's most likely the level that most of us are at that are watching a video like this. If you're watching this video, that means you understand all of these concepts. You're familiar with them. You might apply some here and there, but you have to consciously think about and apply effort in order to be competent at it, in order to follow through, right? But when we take it to that unconscious competence level, that means you're not even thinking about it anymore, and it just automatically is part of your rising ritual. Just like you wake up, go to the bathroom and brush your teeth, right? When you first get up, or whatever your rising ritual is, you can just as easily wake up, express gratitude, get excited for what's in store for today. And you can determine what your outcome is and demand your intentions for the day. Set your state first, and then go brush your teeth and use the bathroom, right? Just how you already have these habits, you can tweak and change them just a little bit to set you up for success throughout your day. And so doing these little habits, making sure that you are unconsciously competent and having these rituals and these habits in place that are going to create this compound effect in your life, that is how you reach a level of mastery. So let's go back over again. There's 3 steps. 1, who do you listen to? Really listen to people who have what you want. If people aren't encouraging you to reach for your goals and strive for your dreams, then they're not pushing you in the right direction. Right? So pay attention to who you listen to. The second part is your teachability index. Whenever you're faced with adversity, whenever you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself in that moment, how teachable am I? How teachable am I? What is my willingness to learn? What is my willingness to accept change? Right? How teachable am I? Ask yourself these questions, get it ingrained in you, and open yourself up to the possibilities. And then number 3 is to become unconsciously competent in all of these habits that are going to expand and grow and propel you in your life. All right, that's all I got for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoyed this. It was kind of a lot of information, but I do offer coaching sessions, and I have a course to help kind of like break this up and ease you in to creating good habits and good rituals. So if that's something you're excited about, go ahead and click the Unblock Chakras and Heal for Past Traumas link down below. You can sign up. Also, I'm going to go ahead and put my Calendly link down below. Maybe you want to have a conversation with me. Maybe you want to talk to me a little bit and figure out what your situation is, or if this is good for you, or what this course entails. Then go ahead and schedule a consultation call with me and we'll chat 101. And lastly, if you're looking for a family, a tribe, a group to cut up with every single Thursday, we go live on Zoom with our spiritual circle, Cosmic CONVOS, where we talk about all types of cosmic stuff and help you go through some of these shifts and changes that are happening energetically. As well as we provide rituals, guided meditation, and a bomb family that you can grow, expand, and feel comfortable in. So if that's something you're excited about, go ahead and click down below, Cosmic Convos, every Thursday. Click the link, sign up, and we'll send you an email about the next meeting. All right, that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all have a beautiful, magical, manifesting day. And don't forget, if you took anything away from what we talked about today, do this one thing. Focus and change the thoughts that are going on in your unconscious or subconscious mind, because that is what creates a reality. And follow people who have what you want, okay? All right, y'all have a beautiful, magical, manifesting night, and I'll talk to y'all next week. Asè and Namaste.